Welcome to a track by track games, Brrraains A Head-Banging Life here. We're covering the Less Than Jakes, In With The Out Crowd, often seen as the sort of black, or at least it once was upon a time, the Black Sheep album of this band. It was released in 2006, May 2006, recorded the year before, and it's kind of one of those, it's often seen as the Black Sheep because, from my understanding, this was quite a change in direction for the band at the time. It wasn't something I was aware of, in the sense because I wasn't big on Less Than Jake. I liked a lot of songs, but I wasn't following album by album. And obviously they're a ska punk band, that kind of thing. And this was a bit more serious, a little bit more rock rather than ska.
Yeah.
And I think that upset a fair amount of their fan base. Enough that when we saw them live, at your first ever gig, funny enough, one of the frontmen, Chris, I think it was Chris. Was it Chris? Yeah, it was Chris, yeah. Chris acknowledged on stage when they were going to do The Rest of My Life, where people reacted to it, and he said something along the lines of, people hated us back in the day, but now they seem to love it. Do you remember that?
No.
No? Okay, you're probably too focused on the other stuff, but...
I remember that guy jumped off the balcony.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was an infamous moment from that show. So Less Than Jake at Shepherd's Bush Empire, people started, like, jumping off the balcony, and one guy decided to do it and hit the floor hard, which delayed the set by about half an hour while an ambulance came.
Yeah.
But they played over curfew, and they kind of got on with things and stuff like that, and it was like, fucking idiot. Don't know what the fuck. Come on, people, man. I know you're having a good time and all, but let's not be stupid about things.
Yeah, it's a high drop as well. It's really high.
Yeah, people just caught up in the moment, you know. Pit or stage dive, but don't jump off balconies. So, it's a 12-track album. And this has got some of my favourite Less Than Jake songs on it.
Yeah.
While also having some of the ones that I ultimately are forgettable. Now, I'm not a huge Less Than Jake fan. I am a fan. But if you were to say to me, oh, you know, go for their albums and name, you know, I'd be able to pick songs here and there. But often it's a lot of, okay, no, I'm not too sure about that. I don't really remember that one and so on. I don't think they've got one album that I would consider like beginning to end brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd say they have albums with great tracks in it and then occasionally filler ones here and so on. It's also a bit of like, depends what kind of era you quite enjoy about Less Than Jake. I think the first song I ever heard of theirs was Gainesville Rock City, because that was played a lot on like Kerrang TV back in the day and stuff like that. And then hearing things like Science is Selling Itself Short, and I love the tracks like that. And then I heard In With The Out Crowd, and I loved a lot of songs from this. So, and it starts off strong, man. It really is. In fact, I'd argue the first 4 tracks of this are just brilliant.
For sure.
Soundtrack of My Life, a Still Life franchise, Overrated Everything Is, and Fall Apart.
I remember loving Overrated.
Overrated's great. But from those, it's Fall Apart probably, because it's so fucking catchy. That chorus. And it's certainly a little bit more upbeat compared to the rest of the album. But I think the biggest shock would have been if you were a Less Than Jake fan and listened to this and Soundtrack of My Life, and you're expecting ska, punk, bounce, upbeat, and Soundtrack of My Life comes on, you'll be a bit like, wait, what?
There's a fine line between living a life, giving a life. There are times that I've been looking from the outside in, and here I go again, falling behind, losing my mind. I'm pretending it's alright, listening to the soundtrack of my life. Whoa.
Wait, what? You know what I mean?
It's like the top track on the, like the first track on the album as well. It's like, wait, no.
Yeah, that must have been a real like, whoa, what's going on here kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad song. It's a good song, in fact. It's a good intro as well, and kind of I think is a good barometer of what this album actually is like overall in the comparison between less ska and more rock. Like I said, it's Still Life franchise, Overrated, excellent, Fall Apart. All brilliant tracks, basically. These are like 4 in a row of just like, oh, they're off and rolling. This is really, really good. Obviously, you know, you can't keep that all away. And I'd say Independence Day. Forgettable, yeah. And the same with Don't Fall Asleep in the Subway.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they're short and sweet, so they're not offensive, they're not annoying. It's just, particularly after following 4 great tracks, these are ones that just kind of go in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
But
they're good. They're good songs, but like you wouldn't, if you were gonna like pick one song from the album, they would.
I'd say no real bad songs on this.
Yeah, nah.
In that sense, you know, so that's like a positive, I guess. Overall, it's I'd say like overall it's like a 7 out of 10 album because it's got great songs and then it's got some just like they're there, You had to fill an album, basically. B-sides almost. But Landmines and Landslides is excellent.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
so catchy.
yeah, it's so fucking good. I think there was a point where you were obsessed with this song. Yeah, when you were younger, you know, a lot younger. There's this sort of things, and live it works really, really well as well. You know, it's proper that chorus gets people sort of singing along.
For once I've had enough. Red lines, landslides, no matter how I try. Red lines, landslides, every single time. I fell asleep while watching TV.
But Lesser played live, although we have seen it, thankfully, is one of my favourite Less Than Jake songs, and it's The Rest of My Life. I fucking love this song.
Oh, we saw them at Brixton, and when they went, because they came back on for the encore, and they were like, they
Brixton?
started doing it. Yeah, the big one.
You
We
mean
were sitting upstairs.
That's Shepherd's Bush? We were upstairs.
Nah, Brixton.
Oh no, it was the group,
They did like
the
there was
Fireball
five bands.
Fireball one,
Yeah.
yeah, Fireball tour. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They came back on for the encore, and they started with this, and we both were like, whoa.
yeah. Rest of My Life is fantastic. It's probably the most dour sounding track on the album, I'd say. But fuck me, this is it's an incredible showcase of Chris DeMac's vocals on this. He is absolutely brilliant. It also has Mark Hoppus as a writing credit as well. But just letting go. It's just, it really gets in. It's, I say, it's not upbeat, it's not peppy, it's very, very, not depressing, it's not the wrong word, but very downbeat in that sense. But it really delivers a really memorable, excellent song. This is where, again, what we kind of said with another track by track. Someone can just do, give me a Less Than Jake song from this album. Not like, because you wouldn't, like, someone said to me, give me a Less Than Jake song. I'd go, here's the science of selling yourself short.
Yeah.
You know, not this album. Admittedly, there is that issue. I probably wouldn't, if I was asked to show off Less Than Jake to someone, I'm unlikely to take anything from this album unless they want like 10 songs.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just said, give me a track from, give me a Less Than Jake track, the less ska, more rock. Okay, well now you specified it. The Rest of My Life. Here you go. And I'd hope they'd come away and be like, yeah, that's fucking excellent.
This is my all-time low. Somehow it feels so familiar. Somehow it seems so familiar. I feel like letting go. And every second that goes by, I'm screaming out for second tries. Said goodbye to my best friend. Sometimes there's no one left to tell me the truth. It's gonna kill me the rest of my life.
And again, it's followed by Mostly Memories.
It's got such an upbeat start.
Oh, I love Mostly Memories. And again, wicked live. I love how so many of these tracks do actually get played live.
Yeah, they do. Like, this is one of the albums they kind of go through and, like,
Yeah.
they pick songs from it. They're like, people love these.
And they're picking the right ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, they know
which one's hit and which one's done.
Yeah. And Mostly Memories is a hit. A big hit. Fantastic, fantastic track. And I would say the last great song.
Yeah.
The last great song.
Yeah.
It's not that Let Her Go or Hopeless Case or PS Shock the World are bad tracks either. I think Let Her Go is, because it's short, it's a lot more oof, oof, oof kind of thing. And that's fine. But then we do get a couple of really sort of long ones. In fact, the longest 2 tracks on the album. And that's, I want to say that's a problem because it's a bit more of a serious album. But when they're not that good, or they're just kind of like they're there and they're just making up the rest of the album, it's kind of a downer, I think. You go from Landmines and Landslides, The Rest of My Life, Mostly Memories, probably enjoy Let Her Go, and then you hit Hopeless Case and PS Shock the World. And it's just like, It might leave you feeling a bit flat, a little bit sort of flatter than maybe you wanted it to be. And that's an unfortunate thing, I think. But it's not that they're bad tracks. It's just that we use the word forgettable. And we say that on the basis of if I came to Dan right now and I said, hum me Rest of My Life, hum me Mostly Memories, you'd take, it might take a second, but you'd be able to get going. If I said to you, hum me PS Shook the World,
I've got no clue.
see what I mean? And we've listened to this album loads and loads and loads.
Sure.
These are the tracks you skip, where you're like, oh, or or you hear after a while, and you're like, should I remember this?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. And this album's 2006. He was 3 years old, put it that way, and so he, and I've been listening to this pretty much from when it came out. I remember hearing this quite when it came out, and I still can barely remember these tracks compared to the others. There's no impact in comparison to the rest. So like we did before, 3 tracks.
Ooh.
3 tracks that you would say are the best on it.
Overrated. Landmines and Landslides and Mostly Memories.
What?
Yeah, they're my top 3. Hey, I like Rest of My Life. It's just I like the upbeat ones more.
Fair enough. I'd go Fall Apart, The Rest of My Life, and Mostly Memories. Although that's tough because that means I have to leave out Landmines and Landslides. But yeah, there'd be my Fall Apart. Rest of My Life and Mostly Memories. I think they're my 3. I can't believe you left The Rest of My Life off.
It's a really, really good song. It would be the 4th one I picked, but it's just like those are my... I like the upbeat ones.
I get that. There you go then. There's our Less Than Jake in with the Outcrowd track by track. If you love it, if you don't, let us know what you think in the comments. If you've got an argument for why Rest of My Life sucks, I'd love to hear it. Let us know what you think. Watch and subscribe. Watch and subscribe. Watch all the other content. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you.